As most of you probably know, I'm a lawyer and have done a fair amount of criminal defense work. I don't share the opinion of many that there's no chance that Comey will not be convicted. I don't know for sure, but I think that it's probable that Comey is a very honorable man and conducted himself professionally with the best of intentions and with the intent to abide by the law. However, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of criminal laws, and every honest citizen every day probably violates two or three of them many times unknowingly. Anyone driving to work virtually always commits two or three traffic offenses but doesn't get caught and probably doesn't even realize they did it. Comey probably has a long exemplary employment history with the government. He's handled lots of cases and records and made lots of statements somewhere along the way. If you look hard enough, he's bound to have done something that's a technical violation of the law. In the real world, if you have a technical infraction and there was no intent to violate the law and there's and no great damage was done, usually a prosecutor is going to elect, even if there's a technical infraction, not to prosecute the case because they simply don't have time to do it. They've got more important things to take care of. The problem in a case like this is like it's very high profile. You've got a president that wants to make an example of Comey, and so what would typically happen in a more sane environment with somebody exercising some, halfway decent discretion as opposed to being politically motivated, you're going to get a totally different type of process and maybe even a different result. By big time contrast, Trump's 34 felony conviction counts is not the type of inadvertent error I'm talking about when I'm talking about Comey. That's in conjunction with the sex abuse judgment in the Carroll case against Trump and what both the Colorado courts found and what independent prosecutor Jack Smith found regarding Trump's insurrectionist activities back in January of 2021. All this should prove that Trump is a very bad apple. He can't be trusted and is not worthy of the presidency. He's dividing us to the breaking point and is seeking dictatorial power. From the mountaintops, I say we can't risk this presidency any longer. Our democracy is in big time danger. See my sample impeachment letter in the description and at reasonandbalance.com, and write your congressmen and senators today, especially if they are Republicans.